What's really good? What's really good? What's really good? Welcome back to another live episode of the Sanchez Show. As always, I'm your host, Eric Sanchez, aka Legend of Two Games. My brothers will be joining me shortly, Trip Young and Will Gordon. Apologies for the delay. We didn't get to record yesterday. You know, life happens sometimes, but we moved it up, moved it back. I should say a day. We got divisional round playoffs. It's going to work in our favor anyway because the news of John Harbaugh taking the Giants job broke late last night. So we got that to get into. We got a lot of NBA talk to get into as well. And I want to take the opportunity now that Harbaugh has taken a job to kind of go through, I guess, the best available coaching jobs in the NFL. Trip, once you're ready, give me the thumbs up. But as always, make sure you guys are subscribed not only to the Sanchez Show, but also Real Fans Real Talk. We'll be back on Monday with Real Fans Real Talk. Shout out to everybody who's rocking with us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. As you guys know, if you were rocking with us Sunday night, we went live during the Chargers-Patriots game. You know, they shut down the live on YouTube, but it was still up on Facebook and Instagram. I know because we had the game, we were kind of flashing back and forth between the game. But it is what it is. We appreciate everybody who was rocking with us that night. We got a lot to get into now. We got the divisional round set. We are approaching NBA trade season. Now that trades can officially happen, especially for guys who sign contracts in the offseason. Some of those guys can get moved now. I see the questions. We're going to start actually at the bottom of the comment section with Pooh and with Ron with their statements and questions there. Trip, let me know once you're ready, bro. You good to go? As always, got my brother Trip Young with us tonight.
What's going on?
What's good, bro?
Oh, man, just working. That's all.
You know how it is. We out here. We got to get to it. Mm-hmm. So, as I mentioned, we're going to get obviously a lot of NFL talk, right? We're at that time of year, divisional round playoffs. You got your head coach. Let's start there with John Harbaugh. And then I want to go to some of these other questions that we have before we get to some more football related. But let's start with the top story. That news broke last night. Harbaugh takes the Giant job. Ironically, we were already talking about kind of listing the best available coaching jobs in the NFL. When we talked about this, even on the last episode, we kind of hinted at the Giant job was a very appealing job. So I want to get your thoughts on Harbaugh. How do you feel? I know you liked him already in Baltimore, but now you get him in New York.
Yeah. Remember, this is what I wanted on the show. I wanted Harbaugh to go to the Giants and Brian Flores to get that Ravens job. Now, so I know it was a little more likely that Harbaugh could get the Giants job than it would be for Flores to get the Ravens job. But that's just my pick if I had a coach. But first of all, yeah, I'm happy. Love that the Giants went out and got Harbaugh. I think he's going to be a great coach for this young Giants offense. I think he can help out Dart a lot. And he has some weapons. He has Scatterball. Neighbors will be back. Giants gonna have a top draft pick. They got a couple of defensive plays. They do need to, fill out that secondary and build and work on the offensive line. But I think he's got a lot to work with, and I think in 2 years he can have this team looking pretty good. As far as the most appealing coaching job now. I would have to go with the Ravens job because, I mean, you got a 2-time MVP and Lamar Jackson at quarterback already.
Well, let's hold on. I want to stay with the Giants though a little bit first because I want to get to the list that we're going to do as well. But I want to stay with the Giants. Harbaugh going there, I think, changes a lot of things for the organization. The Giant organization has not been good over the last 10 years, really, since Tom Coughlin has left. So even probably a little longer than that, but we're just going to say 10 years. But now you get Harbaugh, like you said, and now you have some young pieces, and now you actually have a direction. And you got the number 6 pick in this year's draft. Excuse me. So you got an opportunity to get another impact player. I think Harbaugh viewed this as an opportunity, as you said, and that was one of the criteria for our list of like, what can you do over the next couple of years? I think he viewed this as a situation where it's like, man, we actually might be pretty good next year. Jackson Dart already showed flashes of what he could be at quarterback, right? But Malik Neighbors missed a lot of time this year with the injury. Cam Scatterball missed a lot of time this year with the injury. There's an O-line that does need a little bit of help, and that's probably where they'll address it in the draft with that number 6 pick. But I just think when you look at the talent, this is why I thought the Giants were one of the most appealing jobs. And I think also when he looked at the situation, because Atlanta was heavy on Harbaugh as well, I think when he looked at it, the reason he chose the Giants was one, they already have the quarterback. Atlanta does not have that yet. Atlanta's still trying to figure out what they're going to do with Michael Penix, and they do have Kirk Cousins. Also, Atlanta does not have a first round pick. They traded that pick away to the Rams to be able to draft one of their defensive ends in last year's draft. So when you're looking at Atlanta, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of talent. And I've said this already. Bijan, Pitts, Drake London. Obviously, they led the league in sacks this year. So there's a lot of talent on that team that won 8 games. But you don't have a first round pick and you don't have the quarterback.
Yeah.
At least with the Giants, I know what I'm walking into. I have the quarterback that I can try to develop over the next 2 to 3 years. I have the weapon on the outside with Malik Neighbors. I have the first round pick. And guess what? All the things that I highlighted from the Falcons about being able to lead the league in sacks, the Giants have that same potential. When you look at their defensive line, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Thibodeau, Abdul Carter. So with the right coaching, you could turn the Giants into the same pass rush that you got in Atlanta, but have the quarterback. So I think that's why Harbaugh really chose it. It makes things very, very interesting in the NFC because right now, in the NFC East anyway, because right now you guys have the best coach in the division. Harbaugh is the best coach. He's better than Sirianni. He's better than Schottenheimer in Dallas, right? He's better than Commanders head coach. So he's the best head coach walking into that situation. And if they hit on a draft this year and maybe 1 or 2 free agents, it's very possible that the Giants could be next year's version of the Patriots, where they go from 4 wins to being a playoff potential team. Now, in terms of what we talked about, and I'll let you get back to it, you talked about Baltimore as the number 1 job available. With the Giant job out the way, you got Baltimore, you got Atlanta, you got Vegas, you got Arizona, you got Tennessee, you got Miami, you got Pittsburgh. 7 jobs. You feel Baltimore is the number 1 job. Tell me why.
So, yeah, you got your 2-time MVP in Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry still got a lot of gas left in the tank. You got Zay Flowers. You got a couple of really good young cats. You got Kyle Hamilton on the defensive side, might be the best safety in football. So you have a lot to work with already if you're Baltimore. Obviously, I'd still be looking to see if AJ Brown, winds up becoming available, so you can get Lamar a legit number 1 receiver. But you got a lot to work with if you're Baltimore, and in this league, you don't get too many MVP quarterbacks that just happen to fall right into your coaching hands. You know what I mean? So obviously Baltimore is the best job, and this is a legit playoff team. Obviously, we know they were a field goal away from making it this year, but this is pretty much a playoff team and a team that if they can actually stay healthy and maybe a little bit more structure can get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree too. I think Baltimore is the number 1 job. You got 29-year-old Lamar Jackson. He's in his prime. I know they're trying to restructure his contract. Shout out to, I saw somebody put that in the comment section as well. And so since we're talking about it, we might as well just bring up that question. Where is it at? DeLorean. Shout out to DeLorean. Would you give Lamar a new contract? Well, DeLorean, it's not technically a new contract. So they're looking to give an extension. He still has 2 more years on his current deal, right? Because his current deal carries him through the end of the 2027 season. So the upcoming season, and say that again?
They're learning from the last time.
Right. So obviously they're not trying to let this play out until it gets to emergency situation. They're trying to get it done now. So they're probably really looking to do is add maybe 2 or 3 years on the back end of the current deal, right? And what that's going to allow them to do is kind of space out some of this money a little bit more, open up a little bit of cap space this year and next year so they can keep developing the roster. But in terms of a team, I mean, what situation is better than the Ravens if you're a new head coach going there? Again, you got a 2-time MVP at quarterback, right? You still got a fairly high level Derrick Henry, all right? You got weapons. They're going to have to make a tough decision at tight end. Let's keep it a buck. Mark Andrews has cost them some games. Mark Andrews has not been great the last 2 seasons. Isaiah likely looks like the eventual replacement there anyway, but still got a solid O-line. You got Zay Flowers. You got to get more weapons for the quarterback position. The defense is the biggest issue here. Outside of your safety, Cal Hamilton, outside of Smith, the linebacker, you're going to have to figure out a pass rush because they got a little older with Van Noy, especially being out. They couldn't get to the quarterback. So you got some areas, cornerback, you got to figure out, lineman, you got to figure out. But if you're telling me a team that has potential to not only be a playoff team, but a Super Bowl team within the next 2 or 3 years, you got to say the Ravens because Lamar is still going to be prime Lamar over the next few years. So it's not a drastic drop off where, all right, a new coach comes in and it's like, all right, I'm taking over a rebuilding situation. You're not rebuilding.
Yeah. If he
You're a
was
team that,
34, that's different.
yeah,
28.
yeah. Like I said, Lamar literally just turned 29 earlier this month. So you're getting a guy who's still in his prime and who I feel like as a quarterback has gotten better every year in terms of being a pure quarterback. Mm-hmm. Now, do the Ravens have a lot of issues? Yes. I've highlighted before they've blown way too many games the last couple of years. Is that a Harbaugh issue? Is that a defensive coordinator issue? Is that just something with the team? Only time will tell. Maybe a new head coach, a new voice, things change late game execution. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the roster, there is, I mean, even with Harbaugh, this was a A1 level roster. Yeah. So now as a new head coach, you're coming into a situation that I think you would love to be in, knowing, hey, we got a chance to win right away. Will, give me a thumbs up. Let me know once you're ready, bro. But
listen, you don't know how long of an opportunity you're gonna get as a head coach in this league. So if you got a chance to come in right now, like you can sneak a Super Bowl in, then why not?
I just that along with the fact that the Ravens have been a A1 organization. You've seen it in the past, the way they draft, the way they handle their personnel, the way the coaching staff is handled, everything. So why wouldn't you want to go there? There's a lot worse situations out here that are available. So you would have to take that one. Will, let me know when you're ready, bro. We just doing our list right now, but while Will gets ready, I want to go to this question that I saw. Shout out to Ron. We got Will Gordon in the building. Will, what's good, bro?
Yo.
What it do, baby? How y'all fellas doing tonight, man? Happy Thursday.
We good. We're about to get into our list of coaching vacancies. We were just talking a little bit about the Harbaugh situation. Let me get your thoughts on Harbaugh before we switch over to this other question.
I guess he was the belle of the ball, right?
Yep.
So I guess the Giants feel real good about themselves today. After landing him yesterday. So how you feel, Trip? How you feel about it? I missed that. You feel good about it? You behind it? All right.
That's what I wanted.
So he gonna be although he was a stale voice in Baltimore, when you get that change of scenery, he's that breath of fresh air for New York, so it's gonna be, I think he's gonna run the organization a lot different than what we've seen in New York in years past. New York been throwing stuff at the wall, trying to make it stick for a long time now, all the way back to like the Joe Judge type hires that made no sense at all to me. But this is a hire that makes sense. Coordinator is going to be very important. Who comes in at offensive and defensive coordinator, that's going to be very important. But he's been a guy that's been able to put guys in place that he can let them do their thing on their sides of the ball. He kind of, we talked about before, he's more of an overseer. So he knows what it's like to be under the spotlight. He's been in countless tough football games. If you're a Giant fan, you gotta feel kind of good about that hire.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I think you got to feel great about it. And like I said, for the Giants, they need a direction. They're a team that has not, like you said, well, they've been throwing a lot of shit at the wall the last 10 years. Now you actually have some sort of direction in that organization. We're going to go to the top of the comment section, but before we do, I want to get to this question from Ron, kind of get this one out the way. This is a conversation I've actually been having with a lot of people off air, and I don't think people understood what was going on here. He said, Gervonta Davis wanted by Miami police for alleged domestic violence case. I want to backtrack before we get to the news that broke, because there was something that's been circulating for quite some time. And Trip, I think you and I spoke about it when the fight got canceled with Jake Paul. There have been rumors for a while that there was going to be the arrest warrant out on Gervonta Davis. It's one of the reasons that Jake Paul and his people stepped away from that fight. I think people didn't understand it at the time because it was so close to fight night that people assumed that there was some sort of gimmick going on. But really, there is a real situation going on with Gervonta and one of the mothers of his children. And like I said now, and like we see now, the warrant has been put out. Trip, you and I talk boxing all the time, so I'm gonna start with you on this. I kind of feel like Gervonta Davis is going down the same path that Adrian Broner went down. I feel like Gervonta is a highly skilled fighter. Don't get me wrong. I love Gervonta Davis. I love watching his fights. We've talked about him for a very long time. But the shenanigans away from the ring is starting to outweigh the things he's doing in the ring. Keep in mind, Javante hasn't fought in almost 2 years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's known more for the things that are going on outside the ring. I don't feel like he's got his business in order because, again, what are you doing? You're wasting your prime. You're not making the fights happen. You're not doing the things you're supposed to be doing at this point to really capitalize on where you're at in your career. And now you have this arrest warrant out for you.
And you pretty much had the biggest fight of your career with this Jake Paul situation. That you blew that opportunity, and that was a huge bag that could have really, set you up for the rest of your life and your kids' lives. Just really put the stamp on it because Joshua had what was it, 92 million?
Yeah.
So you would have
Yeah,
had
because
something.
Joshua ended up walking away with 92 mil on that.
Yeah, so you would have had something along those lines. It's just sad though because it's himself getting in his own way. I hope that he gets himself together. Hope somebody in his life can help him turn things around because he is one of the best fighters of this generation. So what I'm saying, like I want to see him do well. I don't want to see anybody out here messing up, especially when you get to that level. And as a champion, it's just sad. So I just hope and I pray that he gets his life in order.
It's it's a terrible situation. I'm not going to pretend to say I've spoken to people that are close to him, but I have spoken to some people in the Baltimore area that know him, that from a distance.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of the things that's been a major issue is that he's been back in Baltimore a lot lately. And so that's why I use the Adrian Broner comparison. I'm not saying, he out here doing no knucklehead shit. I'm not insinuating he did anything wrong just because he was back home.
Yeah.
But the feeling around some people has been like, yo, he's been home a lot more than he normally is. Like he's not focused on the things he used to be focused on. He's more like, fuck it. If I'm home for a week, I'm home for a week. If I want to relax out here for a little bit, I'm relaxed out. And so, like I said, I'm not insinuating he did anything wrong. If there's nothing wrong with going home, but it just feels like his focus right now is no longer about being a world-class boxer.
Yeah.
It seems like his focus is more on some other things that are going on. This is not the first time he's been in the news for an issue with the mother of his child. This is not the first time the cops have been called on him for incidents with the mother of his child. And now the arrest warrant, like I said, it's a fucked up situation. Will, you got any thoughts on this?
No, I don't really follow boxing heavy.
Got you.
But I agree with what you said initially because I seen the stories or whatever about comparing like the same path to what's his name went down.
Adrian Broner.
Yeah, Broner. Yeah, I could kind of see those parallels right there.
It's unfortunate because I always thought Adrian Broner was a highly skilled fighter that kind of, he fucked himself up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had opportunities, I think, to do even more in the sport than he did. And not to say that he didn't do great things. He was a two-time champion. He had done some great things, but his prime was so short-lived. Like he left a lot of money on the table had he just stayed focused and did what he needed to do.
Even after the loss, he could have bounced back if he had like really got back to it and started training and grinding it out. But it just seemed like he just kept, getting worse and worse until now the point like to where we saw him on It Is What It Is.
Yeah,
it's like
that was like rock bottom right there.
Yeah.
Fellas, we got a lot of questions in the comment section. Y'all want to start NBA or y'all want to go NFL first?
Don't matter, either one.
Whatever.
Let's knock out some of the NBA stuff because I know we're gonna end off. We're gonna give our predictions. We're gonna do the coach and vacancy rankings. Let's knock out some of the NBA questions right now. Let's see, and we'll go through these kind of quick. What we got right here? All right, shout out to Lamar. Devin Booker, I want to give him some love for how he got the Suns balling so far. He playing at an all NBA level, and Dylan Brooks too. Dylan Brooks has been great for the Suns. Shout out to Dylan Brooks, kind of recreating himself as a ball player. But Devin Booker, 24, 4 and 6 a night. He's got them at the 7th seed. They far exceeded any expectation anybody had for them. And I think it's great for Devin Booker because the last 2 years, no shade at KD, but while KD was there, the shit looked bad. And maybe it was more Bradley Beal being there than KD. But it seems like since them guys are out of the way and Booker's the true leader, we're seeing the best version of Devin Book. Will, what you think, bro?
This is the Devin Book I've been waiting on for like years. I mean, before the KD situation. Like I thought coming in, like pretty much after his rookie year, I thought Devin Booker had the ability to be a top 2, 3 shooting guard in this league for a long time. But it was like I don't know if he wasn't aggressive enough early on, or if it was the system or the teammates around him. And then going into the KD is, of course, we know it's not going to be as many opportunities. But now this is the Devin Booker I've been wanting to see, and he's the type of guard that you can really build around.
Yeah, we know that. I mean, they went to a finals with him as the best player on the team, so you definitely could build it.
And then when you look at like you mentioned, with KD, when KD was there, it was a lot different. It's crazy. Now doesn't like right now as we sit, the Suns got a better record than the Rockets, don't they?
Nah, hell no.
I mean, not a better. I'm saying they look better now than they did when KD was there. As to where you could say the Rockets' improvement isn't because of KD, but the Suns' improvement is because of KD. You see, that's what I'm trying to say. With him being gone, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's crazy, and that's crazy. KD's my guy, but Devin Booker now. I mean, this is your go ahead. This is your time to shine. Mm-hmm. You've been in the league long enough, and I'm very impressed with what they've been able to do because nobody had them where they at right now.
Yeah.
Sure. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just think that they have a better team. Like I know we get caught up in all of the superstars, but I think this year they have a better team. Mark Williams is a really good center. Mm-hmm. And Dylan Brooks has leveled up. Like I got to give him his credit. He definitely leveled up, and he's being more of a two-way player than kind of just the defensive, player that he was in a lot of years. Now he's scoring the basketball, which is something that he had did in college and then prior to that. But sometimes you change your game, but we're actually seeing that. So I think the team is better than Kevin Durant, Booker, and Bradley Beal when somebody's injured all the time. Like I don't think they ever really had a legitimate couple of months with all three guys on the court at the same time. So now when you got a better team around you, they're looking a lot better. And we already know who Devin Booker was because again, Eric, you mentioned he led a team to the finals already as the best player on the team. So although Kevin Durant going there was supposed to help, I think it hindered him more than it did to help him. And then on the flip side of that, with Kevin Durant in Houston, they were already a really good team before Kevin Durant got there. So, I mean, I expect them to be good. I'm surprised they're higher in the standings than they are right now.
Right, and that's to Will's point, though. And once you clarify, I see what you meant. Like you would think that the switch of KD leaving Phoenix to go to Houston would be a drastic swing, right? With Houston's so much better, they're not. There's a seed above the Phoenix Suns, but also Houston was the number 2 seed last year. So KD coming there, I mean, for them to kind of be in the same position they was in last year, you expect them to elevate a little bit more. There's some other reasons for that, but I just think in terms of Devin Booker, because I want to focus on that. I think this is a great situation for Devin Booker to show the growth of his game, the growth of his leadership ability, and it's good to again see him look like back to himself. Because I just think them couple years it looked forced. It looked like it wasn't enjoyable basketball. Now he's back to himself. Let's get into the comment section's favorite player. Trick, they love this guy. They want to talk about Jonathan Kuminga again. Every week they want to talk about Jonathan Kuminga. There's multiple questions in here about Jonathan Kuminga.
This is crazy that we still talking about Kuminga.
I'm telling you, bro, the comment section loves Jonathan Kuminga, bro.
This is like LeBron right now. Like, well, how are we talking about Kuminga?
What's his 2K rating? Is that it? Is he sweet on 2K or something?
Probably like a 78, 76, something like that.
Listen, comment section. I know y'all know ball. There's a lot of other good young ball players that we could talk about. We don't have to talk about Jonathan Kuminga every week. All right. Just to give y'all a hint, we got multiple statements about Kuminga here. We got Squeeze says Kuminga demands a trade today. He is eligible to be traded now. Warriors better trade his ass. I didn't know Kuminga was that valuable that the Warriors have to trade him. Pooh said, what do the Warriors think they're gonna get for Kuminga? Do y'all think anyone wants him? Right? What else? Lamar said, legend Isaiah Thomas says he commends Kuminga for not doing the PJ Carlissimo on Steve Kerr. Let's start there.
That was crazy.
I mean, Kyrie, look, I'm telling you, we can keep going. Kyrie, I'm here thinking the Warriors had lottery picks and didn't develop any of them. Moody is solid, but the Warriors fucked up. That's Ant-Man and LaMelo draft. Yeah, that one is as well. But let's go back to this statement right here from Lamar. The Isaiah Thomas comments. Have you guys got the opportunity to see what he said?
No.
So what Lamar's saying, he's paraphrasing him. Because Isaiah said back in our day, you would have had a guy go off on a coach if they would have had the type of relationship that Kuminga and Kerr have. And in not so many words, he kind of said, like, I'm surprised he just hasn't gone PJ Carlissimo on him yet. Isaiah's a bozo for saying that.
Yeah, that's wild, bro. You can't say that, bro.
Isaiah's a super bozo for saying that. All right. Isaiah Thomas has been on this hate parade for quite some time. Isaiah Thomas seems to forget the shit he said about people and the things he's done. And like I highlighted on Monday's show, Isaiah completely forgets that he talked massive shit about Magic Johnson when Magic Johnson came out and told the world that he had tested positive. Mm-hmm. Isaiah himself was a head coach and ran the front office for the Knicks. This is all Google information. You can look it up, but I remember because I'm a Knicks fan. He had multiple sexual assault allegations against him. There was rumors of him trying to have sex with someone in his car on the way to the stadium one night. There was times that him and Steph got into it in the tunnel at the Garden, where it got so bad at one point that they actually had to hire private security for Steph Marbury. So Isaiah's been caught in a lot of dumb shit himself. So for you to now like insinuate a player should do something to a coach, what are we even talking about, Isaiah? Like what type of shit are you trying to promote at this point?
That's out of order, bro.
So because a coach doesn't play a guy, he automatically should assault him. He should attack him. What are we talking about, Will?
Isaiah been a Bama for years, man. I don't like he been on some dumb shit for years. Every time he opened his mouth, he say something stupid. And then it's like let's keep it moving, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And this is another example. Like I don't know if he said stuff for the attention. I think maybe that is why. Is because I think he craves attention. His takes are often based on emotion and personal issues. I don't see what the deal is here, trying to, saying that a dude like, oh, well, he should put hands on him. Like what's, have you ever said that about anybody? Have even one of y'all ever said that about, man, you know what, man, you should go ahead whip his ass, dog. Like that ain't for you to decide.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that in a public platform. Now,
especially that.
I might have told somebody that, listen, don't let nobody put hands on you like that. I ain't gonna do that in a public platform.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense what Isaiah's doing because it's like, yo, bro, you've been a head coach at different stops.
Yeah,
you've worked in the front office. You know how these things are. Sometimes behind the scene, a player coach, they might butt head, they don't get along, whatever the case may be. He's not getting in his cool. That's the business of the NBA, though. That's the business of basketball.
Yeah.
That don't give you the right to be like, yo, you should go put hands on him.
You should choke this dude out by now. I'd have choked him out by now.
Right.
Yo, now to me, as a coach, so you're basically giving a player the authority to choke you out if you're on the sidelines. It's basically what you're doing. Like you're saying it's okay for players to put hands on coaches, and you're a coach. So that's
and it kind of sounds like Isaiah might have secretly DM'd him like PJ Carlissimo footage from the past. Like, yo, I don't know if you were familiar with this because you were young, but this is what the last guy did when he didn't like what was going on, in Golden State at that. In Golden State.
So you have a tradition of
the fuck is going on, man? Do you guys have any thoughts on Jonathan Kuminga? Because like I said, it's crazy. He's definitely without a doubt the chat's favorite player.
That's crazy. I thought you were playing when you said it was full of Kuminga questions.
Bro, every week we got Jonathan Kuminga questions. I don't even know at this point where this love for Jonathan Kuminga is coming from.
You know what? I hope he gets traded and lands in a good place and actually gets minutes so we can see, I guess where his skill level is at.
He's gonna get traded to the Nets. It's gonna be part of the Michael Porter Jr. deal. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, listen, I don't even know what to say to that one. We don't need him in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Shout out to Poole. Thunder put belt to ass to the Spurs. I think that was the other night. It wasn't. It was Tuesday night. Maybe she sent this question in yesterday, but it was Tuesday night. Did the Thunder have something to prove? Well, the Thunder weren't playing well recently, so obviously that was that. They had Jalen Williams in this game. I believe in the previous two against the Spurs, they did not have Jalen Williams. He scored 20 points for them yesterday. But also, the Thunder know what's up. We talked about it. They've seen the Spurs spank them the last couple of times, so they wanted to kind of remind the Spurs. The Trip, what you think?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I picked them to win. I was talking to my cousin was trying to put the parlays in, and I was like, no, I'm going with OKC tonight. They got their butts whooped the last 3 times and back to back. They got to show and prove like they never. This is not the we good. We just want to chip. No, this is the game face, war paint, whatever you got to do to get ready. You better do it. Everybody better be on their A game because this is gonna get ugly tonight for these dudes. Like that's the type of time we on. Everybody walked in the arena with the black Air Force Ones on because they was ready for business. That's what it was about that night.
That's a fact. Shout out to Gary Blankenship. He said, "I'm a Wizards fan. My hope doesn't begin till next season." Fair. I mean, you got Trey, you got Alex Sarr. Let's see what they build around those two.
And you better have a top 8 pick.
Yeah. Knicks are 7 and 8 since the NBA Cup. Any concerns? Absolutely. I got a lot of concerns. One, the team is struggling to stay healthy. That's my number one concern. They just got Josh Hart back, and now Jalen Brunson's out with the ankle sprain that he sustained yesterday. 2, there's a real issue taking place with this team, and it's going to continue to grow. Mike Brown called him out publicly yesterday, Karl Anthony Towns, his lack of effort. That's becoming a big issue with this team. And there was footage earlier this season of Mikal Bridges kind of yelling at Cat for missing defensive assignments in the game. Mm-hmm. There was the video. The video yesterday, to me, is the worst out of all of them. Karl Anthony Towns goes down on the offensive side of the ball, never gets across half court. There's a play where the ball gets deflected all the way out to half court, and Karl Anthony Towns is still at the free throw line on the offensive side. He never made an effort at all. And that's the play Mike Brown talks about. It was a pivotal 5-point swing in that game yesterday. And it's starting to feel like this situation with Karl Anthony Towns and Mike Brown could go left. Karl Anthony Towns started the season. If you remember in the offseason, talking about, I don't know what my role is with this team. He got off to a slow start. Now you got players and a coach calling you out about your effort. It kind of feels like it's going to go left, man.
Are you ready for the Giannis trade now?
The trade talks are going to get louder. And I've said, Trip, we put out the clip, we put out the shorts where I said I don't want to make the trade because I don't want to dismantle the team just to get Giannis.
Yeah.
But Karl Anthony Towns, if he's not going to put a better effort forward, how can you be mad at Leon Rose for making the trade?
All right, so what about this? What's the white kid's name? Kolek and Towns for Giannis. You okay with that?
Absolutely. If it's just those two guys, yes.
Because the contract should match with those two.
The real problem is Milwaukee's holding out hope to get draft picks, and the Knicks don't have draft picks to give them. So that's one of the problems. I don't want to say the only problem. That's one of the problems. But this situation, I don't think is going to end well with Karl Anthony Towns unless he puts better effort. And this isn't the first time. I said this after they lost the Detroit game. You can't be the second best player on a team, and he has 6 points in that game against Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad enough y'all get your ass kicked because Cade went off that night. Jalen Brunson's trying to go basket for basket with Cade, and your second best player got 6 points. Like, there's no way you're gonna be successful long term in the league when your second best player is playing that bad. And now yesterday is another example. Jalen Brunson goes out yesterday. Karl Anthony Towns, you would think the natural progression is Karl Anthony Towns is your number one offensive weapon. He had fucking 13 points yesterday.
Yeah.
He got outplayed by Precious Achiuwa yesterday. Precious Achiuwa put up 20 points on him.
And he used to play for the Knicks. That's embarrassing.
That's the defensive effort that Mike Brown's talking about. Like, you let a dude who's a career bench player just drop a 20 piece on you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Come on, man.
Time for the Giannis trade.
The conversations, it's only gonna get louder, bro. Let's get to Will's favorite agent, Rich Paul. Dude, we got to get to it. There's a couple questions in here. First, is Rich Paul out of line saying Lakers should trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson Jr.? Why say this publicly? Please don't defend Rich Paul. Trip, I think he was referring to you on that. Hold on. Because we're going to add in there's another one here about Rich Paul that I know I saw. Oh, this one here. This one's from Kyrie. Austin Reeves' agent confronted Rich Paul at halftime of the last game in a heated exchange. I heard about that as well.
Yeah.
Will, I'm giving you the floor first because there was one of the Wednesday night lives we did. I think, Trip, you had missed this one. When we talked about, we knew this podcast idea between Mac Tellerman and Rich Paul was going to be a major, major problem. And one of the things I said on that show was it gets tricky because Rich Paul is privy to information that most people don't know. So the things he speaks on, they're going to be very triggering because, again, you're going to assume he's either got inside info or he's trying to manipulate a situation that nobody knows about. This is a prime example. Will, go ahead, bro.
Rich Paul has been one of the biggest parts of ruining the NBA over the last 5 to 8 years. I've said this is not new. Anybody that has been watching this, I've been saying this 4 years. What they do over there at Clutch is they try to twist everything to benefit their narrative. And this now I was always saying that, but now there's the proof because of stuff like this, because of podcasts now. And now they got podcasts, and now you see them doing it in your face. Pause. They are like this whole situation with talking about, if I'm the Lakers, I think I might trade Austin Reeves, and I'm calling Memphis, and like, hold up, you kind of are the Lakers because you represent LeBron James.
He said you kind of are already.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold on, you represent LeBron James, so you saying that when nobody asked you to, this is like you just coming up with this and just putting this out there, is now you're doing in our face what I always knew you was doing behind our back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised by any of it, and it's just bad for business. Now, no, and the other thing is, you think Rich goes on there and talks about anything that LeBron doesn't know he's going to talk about? So LeBron, if he's this ultimate teammate and blah blah blah, he knows if you go on a podcast and say that one of the best players on the team should be traded, that's not good for the locker room. You know what I'm saying? That's not good for anything conducive to what the Lakers, to winning, for the Lakers trying to win a championship. So what if LeBron is on, against that, it wouldn't have happened. So Rich didn't say anything that LeBron didn't okay. So that's a layer people got to think about. That Rich wasn't just saying that. That like LeBron. I mean, Rich is LeBron's mouthpiece. Pause.
Shout out to Kyrie because Kyrie commented that too. He said Ron. He referenced a Ron statement. He goes, LeBron phony ass acting like this wasn't all planned, saying Rich is his own man. Please, everything is planned. Shout out to Kyrie. I saw that up there too. I was gonna bring that up there.
Because plus, look how good the Lakers look when LeBron, when he had ass cramps. Because I ain't even gonna say he had sciatica. He just had a cramped ass. He was just salty.
Nah, whoa.
But look how good they look.
Whoa.
Pause, brother. Pause.
You just you hit him 2 times with the cramped ass.
Pause.
But go ahead, Will. Go ahead. Keep going on your rant though. Go ahead. We just had to pause.
What I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But while he was out on his, trying to prove that the Lakers needed him, Austin Reeves was out here getting buckets and showing that they kind of didn't. And that's, you know what I'm saying? Well, and what happened to the sciatica? Is it all of a sudden just healed for life?
Yeah, it's gone.
It's crazy.
Trip, before you start, Kyrie, this is Kyrie's assumption. He said you're going into defense mode right now for LeBron. But let's hear your point on Rich Paul.
We ain't even talking about LeBron right now. I thought we were talking about Rich Paul. How we get to LeBron? I thought we
do you want to address the LeBron allegations as well that involved in this?
All right. So let's start with Rich Paul. Yes, I believe that's out of line. You can't be out here talking about guys need to be traded that's on the same team as LeBron. Now, I gotta watch the whole podcast and how they came into that conversation to see what led up to that, because obviously we're just basing this off of a soundbite and we don't know what was said 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes before they got to that part of the conversation. So I gotta watch it.
I have not watched the whole podcast. The soundbite, the clip that I saw was basically, so let's set the stage this way. We know in sports, there's certain teams that they triggering effects. If you're talking to Cowboys, if you're talking to Lakers, if you're talking to Yankees, right? So Max Kellerman and Rich Paul know that. The question was phrased, what do the Lakers need to do to contend in the West?
And he said trade Austin Reeves.
And that's what I have a major issue with. If you want to say, hey, you got to make a move for a guy, you might want to upgrade the bigs, but you cannot say a specific player.
Yeah. No, you can't say a specific name. That's kind of crazy. Now, on the flip side to that,
I think Will, you froze, so I'm gonna take you off the stage here.
And I'm just talking about the Lakers and what they should be considering. I think Rich Paul was completely out of line for that. So that's already been established, and I feel like he was out of pocket with that. I'm speaking about the Lakers moving forward. If you don't feel like you can win a championship with Reeves and Luka as your 1-2 punch moving forward, because Braun ain't gonna be there much longer. Because it's gonna cost you a lot to re-sign Austin Reeves right now. It may make sense to trade Austin Reeves to bring somebody else in. And I'm not saying Jaren Jackson, I'm not saying whoever, but I'm just saying, as if I'm the Lakers management, Why?
My question is, all right, you want to upgrade the roster, okay, cool. But why am I trading a younger asset? If I'm trading anybody to make my team better, why am I not trading Braun?
Because it's gonna be harder to trade Braun. And Braun doesn't have a no trade clause?
Braun has a no trade clause, but it's a 1-year deal.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So do you want to be locked into an Austin Reeves contract for the next 4 years if you don't feel like him and Luka can get you a championship?
Well, I don't. If I'm the Lakers, if I'm being honest, I don't think Braun and Luka together can get me a championship.
Yeah, but Braun ain't gonna be there moving forward. I'm just talking about moving forward. Correct. If I'm the Lakers, take LeBron. Let's just say LeBron retires at the end of the season, right? And I'm the Lakers. Can Luka and Austin Reeves
give me a thumbs up once you're ready, Will?
Together as our 1-2 punch win a championship?
Maybe not as your 1-2.
But you gotta give him a big contract. That's what I'm saying. So you might want to.
Austin Reeves just got his deal.
No, he got to sign a new deal this offseason.
He's up for an extension. He just signed his deal, remember, 2 years ago, last summer. This is the second year of his deal. So he can sign an extension this summer.
If they sign an extension, how many years you think it's going to be?
Well, as we talked about before, I believe he signed a 4-year deal on that last one. So he's got 2 more years left. He's eligible for an extension this offseason. So you could add 2 years onto that and say, all right, now the totality is 4 years.
So you want to? So if you don't believe that him and Luka can get the job done, do you want to have him locked in under a bigger contract for the next 4 years when you could get out of that and trade him?
But I don't think there's, first of all, for what Austin Reeves gives you, I don't think Jaren Jackson gives you, no disrespect to Jaren Jackson, solid player. But Jaren Jackson is a big who doesn't rebound.
Well, that's why I didn't. That's why I said I didn't.
I know. I'm just saying we're talking for the purpose of this conversation, right? If I'm trading Austin Reeves, does anybody guarantee me winning a championship with Luka? Because there's no one player that you can say, hey, if I trade Austin Reeves for that guy, like we're guaranteed to go to the finals.
I mean, Giannis.
Even Giannis, as good as OKC, as good as the Spurs, as good as some of these teams are in the West, just having Luka and Giannis isn't going to be enough. You look at the Western Conference; these teams are deep.
That's a hell of a.
Of course, it's a hell of a combination. But the real thing we missing here, Trip, is right. You said, well, if you're trying to win a championship with Luka, well, if I'm trying to win a championship with Luka, the guy I should be training is LeBron.
Yes,
Austin Reeves.
I was just writing that down.
LeBron is 40 years old.
Yeah.
Why am I trading my younger asset who has more room to grow?
LeBron.
Right. Why am I trading my younger asset who has more room to grow and who has shown me that he could fit more pieces of our team than the guy who's on a 1-year contract?
That's 41.
Right, who's 41 years old.
Harder to trade LeBron than it would be.
Okay, but this is why I agree with what Will's saying, what Kyrie, what people in the comment is saying. This is manipulation by Rich Paul. Because one, you didn't have to say any name. You could have said, hey, the Lakers do need to make a move. They probably need to go get a big, right? But you don't sit there and single out Austin Reeves as if that's the move that makes the Lakers better. Because if we're talking about making the Lakers, better, then offer up your client.
Yeah, listen.
And listen, he also said who to trade him for. He said for Jaren Jackson.
Right.
So if and if Jaren Jackson comes, he plays the 4, which allows LeBron to do what?
That's why. Listen, that's why I put this up for what DeLorean said. Let's be honest. Trading Reeves puts the ball back with Braun, right? When Reeves comes back, Braun is the third option. So that's why Rich Paul did this public. Absolutely. I agree. That's why this is manipulation, Trip, because you're trying to make a situation, not you. I'm saying Rich Paul.
I didn't say it was manipulation. But I started what I was saying by saying I think that Rich Paul was out of pocket. I was talking about the Lakers and what they might want to do.
And even still, if we're having an honest conversation about the Lakers, the best thing for the Lakers is to move on from LeBron James.
That's going to be more difficult to do, though.
Okay, listen, that I'm not saying it's easy, but is that the best thing?
I think it'd be easier than you think.
The contract is what makes it difficult.
Clause, so it's not easy.
Oh, he got a no trade?
Yeah, he got a no trade clause.
Oh, yeah.
And shout out to DeLorean. Yes, he can waive that trade clause if they work out a deal.
Yeah, he can, but but that's only going to be if a situation that he wanted to go to.
But again, this is complete bullshit by Rich Paul.
Yes, I agree with that.
This podcast is not going to last long. This is going to be the end of it.
And you doing it with Max Kellerman? That's how you know it's just like.
No, I'm not mad about. Well, I'm not going to knock that because I don't know what their relationship is away from the podcast. They made it. From what I've heard, they've been friends for a long time. So this might have been something that they've been talking about, and they just finally put it together.
Yeah.
So I don't know what their friendship is like and how long they've been cool or how long they've been talking about this. But I'm just talking from a standpoint of the NBA, the business of being an agent. There's no way that this show is going to continue because Rich Paul is crossing major lines, in my opinion. You are crossing lines once you. How dare you, bro? Nah, let's keep it a bug, Trip. Like you laughing about it, but it's a fact. How you throwing around? You're an agent. You know what these conversations are like. So let me ask you a question. Since he's so quick to say that, so if next week they ask him, yo, you think the Mavs are trading Anthony Davis, and he start throwing around names, isn't that manipulating the situation? Well, yeah, the Mavs may trade Anthony Davis. I heard the Hawks want him. Nigga, you his agent. You know who want him.
And I mean, this is not foreign territory for them. LeBron did a podcast with a dude, and then the dude was the coach.
Became the head coach, right?
So I mean, come on, this is not foreign for Clutch and how they run. This should and people could be like, well, how would he even have the audacity to come out and say that? Number one, LeBron approved it, and number two, this is how they operate. They've been doing this.
LeBron cannot pretend that he didn't know this was going to be said. This was not a live podcast. This was recorded. This was edited and put out. At any point, Rich Paul could have said, "Nah, we got to redo that, bro." You know what? Rich Paul could have easily said, "Yo, you know what? I misspoke. I shouldn't have said Austin Reeves' name. Let's redo it." After it was done, I'm sure he told LeBron, "Yo, the conversation came about the Lakers. I mentioned this." LeBron can't front like he didn't know this was said beforehand. And this speaks to something that we talked about when LeBron was out with sciatica. We said it's going to be interesting when LeBron got to go back in that locker room, because we know this whole offseason has not been about LeBron James. It's been about Luka and the Lakers. When they got into a hot start without LeBron, everyone wondered, how is LeBron going to acclimate himself with the team? Is he going to be comfortable going back in that locker room knowing it's not about him? He allowed this to happen, Trip. Braun is fucked up for that too. You don't allow your agent to throw no teammate under the bus like that. And now we got to be in the locker room together. Especially
a teammate. This ain't just some dude at the end of the bench.
Right. This one of your better players.
It's crazy.
He can't do that, Trip. I'm sorry, man. I know you're trying to be politically correct with it when it comes to LeBron, but LeBron is foul for that shit.
First of all, I didn't even say nothing about LeBron.
I'm saying it about LeBron.
Well, why you telling me like I said that? Well, you saying like I said the opposite.
No, because you were quick to this is what the comment section was talking about, though. You were going to defend LeBron like, hey, it ain't really LeBron. He don't know. He knew, Trip. Come on, man.
So I don't know what LeBron knew.
Here we go. Now we didn't know what he knew. All right. Listen, let's get to some more basketball questions. Rockets Spurs tonight. Who y'all like? I'm gonna double check. Will, you can go first. I'm trying to see is Wemby playing tonight.
Wemby playing, right? Yeah, Wemby got the fresh baldy. He playing tonight, right?
I think they meant Rockets.
Oh, is that Photoshop? Was that Photoshop I saw?
I think Squeeze meant Rockets Thunder. Rockets Thunder tonight. Rockets don't play the Spurs.
Yeah, because I'm about to say Spurs playing the Bucks.
Yeah.
Rockets Thunder. I like OKC.
Yeah.
Thunder's up right now by 5, so
I like OKC as well.
Yeah, it's looking like that's probably how it's gonna be. Unless Kevin Durant start going crazy.
All right. Kyrie wants to know, did y'all see the footage of John Moran and his teammate about the fight? I don't know if they was about to fight. They looked like they was arguing. I wouldn't say they was about to fight. They didn't have to be separated.
I don't know if they was gonna fight. They wasn't gonna fight.
Yeah, no, it's nothing.
I was like one of those where you be like, "Hold me back, so hold me back." No,
it wasn't even that. They was just talking.
That was just a camera roll. That was just a day to day.
Yeah,
I don't think they was gonna fight though.
I don't think they was about to fight. Speaking of a Clutch client, Squeeze says, should the Mavs trade Anthony Davis? I mean, I would love to actually.
Out for the season right now?
No, he's not out for the season. He got reevaluated. He doesn't require surgery, so they said they're gonna give him a month and then reevaluate.
Okay.
You're trading him for what you gonna get back for Anthony Davis at this point?
Who wants him right now? Like,
Atlanta wants him bad. Atlanta wants him bad.
But you want to get a PS5?
Yeah, at least why Atlanta ain't gonna.
From what I heard, Atlanta was willing to give up at least one pick.
Come on, this is my thing is you don't even know what he's gonna be like when he comes back, how long it's gonna take for him to get back, if he can even get back. Because all we've been seeing is injury after injury after injury after injury. We haven't seen him play for a month straight in like a season and a half. So you don't even know what you're gonna get. To be that thirsty to trade for Anthony Davis right now is crazy.
And he's 35 or something like that, ain't he? How old is he?
34 or 33.
33, 34.
Well, with his body, he really is 39. Pause.
His sciatica about to start acting up in a minute.
Oh no, he's only 32. Anthony Davis is 32.
He's only 32.
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
I feel it's not like he's an injury-prone player. So the older you get, the more time you start missing, and the more you get injured. So I'm not in a hurry to trade for Anthony Davis. I don't even know what he looks like to really say, all right, yeah, we could just take a chance and bring him in. If you're talking about 5 years ago, even though I knew he was injury-prone 5 years ago, yes, I would still trade for Anthony Davis. But right now, I can't trade for Anthony Davis in good conscience.
There was a time early in his career that I thought he could be the best player in basketball.
I agree with that too.
If he didn't get injured so much, he could have been.
I thought he was the best player on that finals team, that bubble finals.
Well, he didn't continue to grow. He just kept getting injured. So
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have any other NBA questions? If not, we are getting to the NFL. As always, guys, make sure you are subscribed to the Sanchez Show as well as Real Fans Real Talk. We're back Monday night, Real Fans Real Talk, 7 p.m. Shoot us a like, shoot us a comment. Again, we're live on all major platforms, specifically YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. I see people coming in and out of the live. Let's get to the NFL questions, though. Let's do this. Most desirable jobs. Will, we're going to start with you. We talked about the coaching vacancies. Obviously, the Giants off the board. Tripp and I, before you joined the live, we both had the Ravens as the most desirable job available right now. Will, give me your thoughts. Which one is your number one?
Well, yeah, with the Giants coming off the board yesterday, that doesn't change my number one. They were my number two on my list. I have here that I was ready for yesterday. My number one was also Baltimore, the two-time MVP. You know what I'm saying? That was my number one destination. Is when you look at all the vacancies, nobody has a two-time MVP as their quarterback that's still in their prime. So that was the easy one. I thought the Ravens were definitely the number, and especially when you look around that division with what's going on, it's there to be had. So I think the Ravens was definitely the number one destination for a head coach right now.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Ravens spot. We kind of highlighted the same stuff. You got a two-time MVP who just turned 29 years old. You got his contract for at least 2 more years, and they're already trying to work on the extension. They got to get better on defense, but there's pieces on both sides of the ball. And because you have such a good quarterback, it's the easiest job to transition into and be a winner right away. I mean, they should have been a playoff team this year. I think they could be a playoff team next year as well. Tripp, let's go reverse though. Give me your worst job right now. Again, the criteria we were using was over the next 3 years, could you be a contender, the roster, and obviously your division. To you, what's the worst job out of the ones that are left?
I'd probably say either the Dolphins or the Steelers.
Wow.
What you think, Will? You sound like you had something different.
My worst I had was the Raiders.
That's crazy because I have Raiders with the update now. Obviously, the Giants being off the board. I have Vegas as the third best job.
Really?
Yeah.
The third best? What was your reasoning for that?
They're going to draft Mendoza, so you're going to have your young quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Offensively, Brock Bowers, Genty, so you have some foundational pieces to build around.
And Brock Bowers might be the best tight end in the league.
Yeah. I think they're going to trade Max Crosby this offseason to get more draft capital. But when I look at their division, I think what we're seeing from the Chiefs might be the start of some regression. Now, I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to be bad for a long time, but the Chiefs are an older roster, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs come back down to the middle of the pack. So there's opportunity in that division. Now, you got to bring in the right head coach, but I just think with where they're at with the ability to draft right now, with the division as a whole, I think there's an opportunity that in 3 years, Vegas could be a contender.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on now.
I'm listening.
Because you got two teams at the top of that division. They got their quarterbacks too, and got their head coaches too, and got and us in the Chargers, and then the team that won the division and the number 1 seed in the AFC in the Broncos.
Yeah, but I'm not sold on Bo Nix.
I'm not sold on a rookie coming in making. I'm not sold on Mendoza doing anything in the NFL.
I'm not saying Mendoza's going to come in and light the world on fire. I'm just saying if you're looking at the division, who scares you? Because I don't think the Chiefs are going to keep being the Chiefs. I think where the Chiefs are at right now is exactly where Brady and them was at for a little bit. Remember where they still had Brady, but for a couple of years they weren't a championship team. They were good, but they weren't getting back to the Super Bowl. They were just a good team. I think that's where the Chiefs are going to be. When I look at the Chargers, I told you before, Will, I don't have trust in your front office to spend the money around Justin Herbert. The reason you guys look the way you look now is because the front office has not done right by Justin Herbert. You said last offseason, y'all needed a receiver. Who did y'all go get? Y'all went and got Keenan Allen. Y'all got a retread. Y'all still need a running back.
But actually, no, I'm not sure we do. Because, I mean, my rookie got hurt, but when he's played, he's looked explosive. So I'm not, I mean, we could use it. And you got Najee Harris still on the team who never missed a game in his career until he came to us and got hurt immediately. So, I mean, and with those 2 running backs coming back healthy and my 2 all-pro tackles coming back healthy, this team's going to look a lot different. And with a new offensive coordinator, because Greg Roman, as I've prayed, is gone. This offense is going to look a little different next year. We got pieces now. I do need some outside. I do need some help outside at receiver, but I think we can address that in the draft and in free agency. And there's a free agent receiver that I'm targeting, but actually he's not a free agent, but there's a receiver that I think is available.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if he costs more than $20 million, y'all not going after him.
I think there's a receiver in the NFC East that needs a change of scenery.
Ooh, Terry or AJ Brown. Y'all not trading for AJ Brown. I can tell you right now, y'all not trading for AJ Brown. The Chargers don't make those type of moves. Well, you and I, we've done this several off seasons, and the Chargers all but one off season where y'all went all in. The year that y'all went and got J.C. Jackson, y'all brought in Khalil Mack. Y'all made all those moves that one year. That's the only time the Chargers have ever done that. The Chargers historically are very, very cheap. They don't make the big moves. That's why I think if you're Vegas, there's an opportunity for you to get in, because I think Vegas is going to spend money. Mark Davis spends money. Now, I'm not saying he's smart with his money. He ain't always smart with it because they got like 3 previous head coaches that they still paying. But he can spend money. So that's why I got him there.
Trip, who was your worst team? I mean, your worst.
Pittsburgh and Miami is the worst job. I agree with that.
So you both got Pittsburgh and Miami as the worst spot?
I got Pittsburgh as the worst job, worst vacancy right now. And that's easy. They got no quarterback.
True.
They got no what's the young talent on the team? They have no young talent on the team.
Yeah, I had them.
TJ Watt is your best player. TJ Watt is your best player. He's already on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah, I had them at the 6th worst spot.
I think it's a terrible spot, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because if we say Baltimore is the best job, I got Cleveland ranked as the 4th best job on this list. Because the division is bad, and if you're Cleveland, they had 6 guys from last year's class that got playing time this year. So I think they might have been the team that had the most snaps by rookies this year. Shador, Junkins, Fannin, the tight end, Mason Graham, the defensive tackle, the middle linebacker they drafted, and there was another kid, Isaiah Bond. They had 6 guys get a bunch of snaps this year. They got a young team. They got another high draft pick. If they get the right coach, that is a situation where that team could be good in 2 years. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be good in 2 years. I have no confidence in Cincinnati because they've shown nothing. With Zach Taylor, the only 2 times he's made the playoffs was the 2 years that Joe Burrow was healthy and they went to the Super Bowl and went to the AFC Championship game. Other than that, the Bengals don't make the playoffs, and we know their defense is shit. So I think Cleveland is a really good job. It's a good opportunity if the right coach goes there. So for me, if I'm saying Baltimore's the best job available, and I think Cleveland's a top 4 job available, then Pittsburgh got to be the worst because I don't see Pittsburgh doing anything in the next 2 years that's going to elevate them over those other teams. Who the fuck is starting at quarterback for Pittsburgh?
See, I had Pittsburgh 6 and the Browns 7 because you got to remember, no matter what you think the Browns can do, they the Browns and they always going to be the Browns.
Correct.
And they're going to lose forever. So no matter what you think they can do, that franchise ain't going to do it.
But I'm not.
I'm just telling you.
But we're not ranking just the franchise. We're ranking the way the team
The
is
next
currently
3 years
constructed and what they could do over the next 3 years. If the right head coach, this is the key to all of it. If the right head coach goes there, it changes the dynamic of that team. Because as we started by saying, the Giants look like shit for the last 10, 12 years. Is Harbaugh the right coach, though? Right now on the surface, it looks like he is. He could come in with that young talent and change things in New York. And that's the same way I feel about Cleveland. The right head coach goes there. Like, would your perspective on Cleveland change if tomorrow we find out Mike Tomlin is there?
in Cleveland,
Yeah.
that's what they want. Word on the street is that's Mike McDaniel's job to lose. But if Mike Tomlin went there, I wouldn't say they're going to win. No, well, I mean, because there's a lot of question marks on that football team. I mean, you do have some nice pieces, and on that defense, Shador looks like he could be a good quarterback going forward in the league. But that offense, outside of Fannin and the running back, is you have nothing. You have nothing at receiver.
You're gonna have to draft it.
Like,
now, luckily for them, they high enough in the draft this year. They could take a receiver early. They could add the piece that they need on the outside.
But they need help on the offensive line too. It's like that's not a a guy like Tomlin. I don't think can go. First of all, Pittsburgh has to give Tomlin permission to even talk to them, which I don't think they would ever do. And so I don't even think that's going to happen. But I think Mike Tomlin is going to take a year off. I think he's going to go to the broadcast booth.
More than likely.
I mean, like a studio show. I can see him going to a studio show. And then when Andy Reid retires, step right in to Kansas City.
Maybe. I'm just using him as an example, though. Like I said, if you got the right guy coming into a situation, it changes the way you view that team. So since they have some talent, I don't know if Mike McDaniel's the right guy, to be honest. But since they have some talent, you get the right guy there, now you're looking at them differently. That's all I'm saying. I look at Pittsburgh, I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't matter who coaches this team the next 3 years. Name me the one position on this team that you like, Will.
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
No, nowhere, really.
Right. That's why to me, and that's why I agree with Tripp, it is the worst job. Because there is not one position on this team that you look at and say, yo, all right, we could build around that. The best player, like I said, is TJ Watt, is your defensive end. He's already past 30 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have a quarterback. You don't have a running back room that I'm excited about. You don't have an O-line. You don't have receivers I'm excited about. You ain't got nothing in the secondary. I mean, the secondary is so bad, you had to move Ramsey to safety. Which made no sense because it made no sense because you traded a safety for Ramsey. You could have just kept Minka Fitzpatrick. You traded a safety to get the corner that then you realize, hey, this corner actually probably isn't playing that well. So let's move him to safety.
Who they trade Jonnu Smith for? I thought that was a separate trade.
That was a separate trade. They traded a pick for that. They traded, I think, a third or fourth round pick for that.
Oh, for Jonnu? Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a player? All right.
No. So that's why I don't like that. So we established some of the. Let's talk about some of these other teams. I got Atlanta as the second best job. Tripp, what do you feel about Atlanta?
Yeah, I can see that as the second best. They got the weapons. You got arguably the best running back in football with Bijan. You got Drake London out there. You got the tight end, who's really good. They got the defense, I believe. Didn't they led the league in sacks this year?
Mm-hmm.
So you got a solid defense. They obviously got to make a couple of tweaks, and they got to figure out the quarterback situation. But yeah, I would say second.
All right. Will?
Yeah, go before the Harbaugh move, I had them third. So yeah, so they fall second for me as well.
Yeah, I agree.
For
I had them
for
right
all
there
the
as
reasons
well.
y'all mentioned.
I got them same thing. Good young defense. Not only with leading the league in sacks, but you got a good corner in AJ Terrell. You got a good safety in Jesse Bates. So you got some pieces there. Obviously, you got Bijan, who led the league in rushing. The biggest question mark is the quarterback position for them.
Speaking of, something to keep an eye on this weekend, fellas. In the broadcast. Remember when Matt Ryan was in the studio for CBS, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
So with him taking the position as team president for the Falcons, he has been replaced with Kirk Cousins. So who is still on the Falcons in that contract situation. He's been replaced on the broadcast for the rest of the playoffs.
Kirk Cousins. Oh, for the playoffs. Just
I was going to say this.
Yeah, for the rest of the playoffs.
This might be Kirk. This might be Kirk preparing for that next phase of his career.
By Kirk Cousins, but I think it's interesting because, Kirk will be able to, because if they do their job, they can talk to Kirk about with the transition of a new coach coming in with Matt going into his role, and we don't know by this weekend. Probably there may be a new head coach in there that he might be able to speak on and give his opinion. I think that'll be some interesting pregame show that giving us some insight that we usually don't get in that kind of a fluid situation. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, the Atlanta situation is going to be interesting. They don't have a first round pick this year. That's why I had them, like Will said, third, because they can't really address the quarterback position this year anyway.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued to see if they're just going to let Michael Penix play this year, because I think their best case scenario is just let Penix play. And if he's bad all year, you're probably going to have a high draft pick. Next year's draft class is expected to be stacked though, because Dante Moore's not coming out in this year's class. If Michael Penix does play well, then maybe you do have your quarterback, right? Yeah. Maybe you got your guy. So I think that's the way you would go. I think it would be stupid of them to play Kirk Cousins this year, because it does you no good, short term or long term, to have Kirk Cousins playing.
Well, does a new coach walk in and say Penix is the guy, or is that a prerequisite to even getting hired?
Well, I think that might be a prerequisite.
Or is it an open comp?
So you might
because the money's still the money.
Yeah. Yeah, Trip, say what you're gonna say.
No, I said you're not gonna draft a quarterback this year, so it don't matter. You got what you got.
No, but I think.
But I'm saying as far as who starts.
Right. To Will's point is, do you have that conversation with the head coach ahead of time and say, hey, look, we need to see what Michael Penix got. So if you're coming in, is to help develop him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're not drafting a new quarterback, so you have to go with Penix. You're not going to play Kirk Cousins, so you really don't have a choice in the matter. You kind of have to see what he can do.
That's why I think it's got to be a prerequisite. I think you got to say, listen, we need to see if you can at least develop the guy. Because even if you can't develop him, I need to know that you got the tools to develop whoever the guy is later on.
Yeah, and you use the first round pick on him too. So
playing Kirk Cousins for one season does us no good, because we're going to have to develop the next guy anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying. It has to be a prerequisite, because you can't go in the camp and give him equal snaps or nothing like that.
Let's run through some of these other teams real quick, and then we're gonna get to the picks for this weekend. I had, like I told you guys, I had Cleveland like as the fourth best job. I had Arizona as the fifth best job. Arizona's defense is feisty. They got a couple offensive pieces, but obviously Kyler Murray's not gonna be the quarterback there. But the reason I had them as the fifth best job, they're also a situation where I think the division is in a tricky spot. We're seeing the 49ers and Seahawks this weekend. If Sam Darnold shits the bed, I think we look at Seattle completely different.
He's playing hurt.
Yeah, he's playing with an oblique injury, which we're going to get to that when we make the picks. But depending on how Sam Darnold plays the next year or two, could change the way we look at Seattle. 49ers are an older team that's always hurt. So Arizona, with the right guy coming in, like I said, they're going to have to figure out the quarterback situation. I had Tennessee as the sixth best job. Again, all they got is Cam Ward. But they can't, to me, I have them over Miami and Pittsburgh just because they at least have the quarterback. Miami and Pittsburgh don't have that. But Tennessee is never going to get the big free agents. in terms of the division, they're easily the fourth best team in that division. They're not better than Texans. They're not better than Jacksonville. They're not better than the Colts. They just have the quarterback. That's it. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I had to go ahead.
Yeah, Will.
I had the Titans at fifth just because of Cam Ward. I think I've seen enough that where, and I won't even say on the field so much as I've seen off the field from Cam Ward that tells me that he already has the physical ability, but he has that want to and that desire to be great. And I think when you combine that with physical ability and the proper guidance, I think sky's the limit for Cam Ward. So I had the Titans at fifth.
Yeah, like I said, I think they have the quarterback. That's it though. Let's get to some of these questions real quick, and then we're gonna get to the picks. Let's get to this one right here from Squeeze. Surprised by Rodgers Steelers' performance. Should Monday night be Rodgers' last game? Will, go ahead, man.
Probably. Yeah. But I don't think it will be because they like we've already said, Pittsburgh has nothing at quarterback next year. And I don't think he wants that to be the way he looked in his final game. Now people will say that he went to Pittsburgh because of Mike Tomlin, but I don't think he'll be like, well, Mike's not here, so I'm out. Because I don't know if there's another team that would want to bring him on and insert him into the starting role immediately, especially because all those teams that would need a quarterback to start immediately also need a coach to a new coach. And if you're a new head coach, you don't want to go in with the last year of Aaron Rodgers. It's your first year of head coach as a head coach. So his situation doesn't match the need of other teams. So he'd be better off staying put. But he was on a 1 year deal in Pittsburgh, right?
Yep.
If you're Pittsburgh, do you extend him? Do you offer him another year?
I mean, that might fall in line with, does the new head coach even want Aaron Rodgers? Because
that falls. Yeah, it does. It really does.
If you're interviewing me for the job, like, don't just hand me this 43-year-old quarterback that I have to play. Let me make the choice of what I want to do with the position.
Yeah.
If that was his last game, that's a shame. But oh well, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Oh well. He didn't have his, he didn't ride off into the sunset. As much as I don't like him personally, can't deny, what the quarterback he's been in this league over the years. It's just, as we get older, it sucks to see, the guys that were, at the top of their craft for so long go out on such a sour note.
It's crazy because as that game was playing out, I had Texas to win. I talked about it. I said I didn't think Pittsburgh could do enough.
Yeah, I was super wrong.
But watching that game play out, it reminded me of Dan Marino's last game. If y'all look back, I believe the Jaguars put like a 50 piece up on Miami and they ran back a couple picks on Dan Marino. And that's exactly what it reminded me of. A great quarterback. You knew what he was in his prime, but it was a prime example of like the game was just too fast for him now. He's not the same guy anymore, And Aaron Rodgers has been great. There's no denying that. But I think it's done, bro. I think it's done. They got by the skin of their teeth in so many games this year. And the moment they had to face an elite defense, they looked like they didn't even belong on the field.
Yep.
Yeah. But then also to not, not to go, caping for Aaron Rodgers. We just all sat here and talked about how they have nothing on their team, and it's one of the worst coaching jobs too. So really, what was he working with?
He wasn't, but he's part of that problem too. That's
what I'm saying. He's part of it. Yeah, right. But and then you got your best player not available in the most important games of the season.
Yeah, but I think that was a situation that Pittsburgh put themselves in. That leads to this. What I was unposted from Kyrie. We kind of talked about already. As Steelers head coach, an attractive position. It's not, but the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, having all those winning seasons was a gift and a curse, because they were never good enough to draft impact players. We can't really point to too many guys that he's drafted that we can say, hey, this was a great pick. This was an impact guy. Are there some good guys in that locker room? Yeah, of course. There's some quality guys, but no impact guys. And they're still in that same position now. They never really developed a young quarterback. And one of the things I told somebody the other day too is that we give Mike Tomlin a lot of credit for winning, but what we never do is criticize him for, hey, you missed some opportunities. In last year's draft alone, they could have taken Shador or Jackson Dart as the future replacement. They didn't do it. And
that was flagrant.
And
there's been
multiple instances where they completely ignored young quarterbacks that they could have developed.
Yep.
For the sake of just running it back with veterans, they never did anything with it. So that's a part of that as well. The job is not that attractive, I don't feel. Kyrie also wants to know, should Ravens hire the best coach for Lamar Jackson? Absolutely. Lamar's your franchise.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Right. He's your franchise.
Who is that?
I think Brian Flores should be the guy. That's my pick.
Trip?
Yeah, that's I'm with you.
You got Flores too?
Yeah, that's what I want.
I think if you're not going to go Flores, I think it should be either the defensive coordinator from Seattle or defensive coordinator from the Rams. Okay. If I'm the Ravens, I want a defensive-minded coach that brings an aggressive style.
Yeah.
You can hire the offensive coordinator that you want that can work with Lamar. But what you need is an aggressive style defense. You got to get back to the Ravens' identity. So that's why I think Brian Flores makes the most sense. Let's see what else we got. College football, real quick. Miami or Indiana on Monday night, guys?
Well, Indiana's cheating.
That's the rumor, right? That's
they got a rumor out there. They got a bunch of 25-year-olds out there playing against little 19 and 20-year-olds. That ain't right.
I'm taking the U.
I'm taking the U just for Uncle Mike. We need to see more Michael Irvin. We need to see him acting a damn fool on the sidelines.
Yep, that's what I'm going with too.
That's what we need. We're gonna let's get to the picks. Let's start right now. We'll start off this question right here from DeLorean. Expect Drake May, he's talking about, to return to MVP form Sunday. Now, Pats hosting the Texans. That's the early game on Sunday. Will, we're gonna start with you. Who do you like in this game? How do you see this game playing out?
I like Houston because I wasn't impressed by that quote unquote explosive offense from the Patriots last week against my Chargers defense. And Houston, this defense is better than my defense. So I don't think it's going to be any different from last week as far as the amount of points that the Patriots are able to put on the board. And I don't think it's going to be enough. I think C.J. Stroud's going to find enough plays, and I think the Patriots' offense is overrated. And DeMeco Ryans has that Houston defense flying around football, and I think he wants to, beat Mike Vrabel as well. So I'm liking Houston, and I'm thinking maybe what's the line of that? Does anybody know what the line is? Probably like 3.5.
Patriots favor about 3.
3? Yeah, I like that all day. I'm taking Houston.
Trip.
Well, I'm taking the Patriots. Especially after watching C.J. Stroud, you mess up like that against the Patriots, they're gonna make you pay. And I think Drake May has accelerated to a different level. I think he's better than C.J. Stroud is, and I like the running game a lot better in New England. I think the Patriots are a more complete team, and I'm going with New England.
I got New England as well, and I'm taking the 3 points. I love the Texans defense, but I think there's going to be too much overreaction to what they did against Pittsburgh last week. Pittsburgh can't move the ball. And if Pittsburgh could move the ball, keep in mind, late in the third quarter, that game was 7-6. Mm-hmm. if Pittsburgh had any type of offense, Pittsburgh could have taken that lead and Pittsburgh could have won that game. Texans defense put up 14 points that really changed the game. Obviously, the fumble recovery and the interception. CJ Stroud has been bad, and I just don't like CJ Stroud in the spot going on the road. That's going to be a hostile environment, and I think they're going to have to play from behind in this game, which means we're going to have to see more CJ Stroud. Last week, even though he played terrible, they had the lead the whole game, so they was able to rely on Woody Marks in the running game, and he kind of bailed them out. I don't think that's going to happen this week. So I understand your take, Will, because obviously the Chargers just played the Patriots and kind of held them down offensively. But I just think that the Texans' offense is really, really bad. Nico Collins is not playing. You and I had texted about that, Will, with the concussion. It's pretty much ruled that he's going to be out for this game. So who is stretching the field for the Texans? Are they expecting Christian Kirk to follow up and have another great game? I just don't like the spot for them. Texans defense is really, really good, but I think people are going to overreact based on what they did to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is not the Steelers. This team is way, way better. Shout out to Squeeze. He wants to know, are the Seahawks on upset alert? Trip, I'm going to let you go first. That's the Saturday night game. Seattle is favored by 7 points right now.
Yep.
Damn, 7?
Yep.
And I'm taking the 49ers to win this game. I think they're going to get to Sam Darnold. They're going to shake things up. And I think they go and upset the Seattle Seahawks. This is a division game. They're very familiar with each other. I think they can go in and surprise them, especially with the quarterback position not at 100%.
I like it. Will, what you think?
7's crazy.
7 is way too high.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
In fact,
keep in mind
before they change it.
Keep in mind, in both their
you got to get on that.
In both their meetings this year, the 49ers have held the Seahawks to 13 points in each game.
Damn.
So the Niner defense has done their job. The problem was in that last game of the season, the Niners were really banged up because remember, Trent Williams didn't play, and I don't think Kittle played in that last game either.
He ain't playing in this one either.
He's not playing in this one either. But what do you like, Will?
I was going with the home team, man. But now y'all coming with all these all these little nuggets and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going with the home team because I think it's going to be a close game. But I'm going with the home team. I mean, the 12 is still real.
Yeah.
And I think the absence of Kittle is real. Like this ain't the regular season now. This is big boy playoff football, and you need your horses out there, and he's with what they got a receiver. It could because their receiver core has been a little banged up too. I think George Kittle brings a lot to that football team that they're gonna miss dearly. So I like Seattle in a close game, but I'm like that 7 points. I'll take 49s in them points because I see this being maybe a 3 to 4 point victory for Seattle.
That's what it's been in both their matchups pretty much this year. Now, again, the last game was 13-3. The Niner defense showed up. The Niner offense didn't show up. I'm taking the points for sure, but I like the Niners to win this game, man. Something just tells me, I have a feeling, Will, you and I are going to text at some point during this game. That's the Saturday night game. And I'm going to text you and I'm like, this is why I didn't trust Sam Darnold. Because I would not be surprised if Sam Darnold shits the bed on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't. I agree with you. The 12s is real. I agree with you. The Seattle defense might even be better than the Texas defense. It's a great defense. But something tells me Kyle Shanahan is going to draw something up. Watch for the trick plays again. Watch for him to come up with something that can kind of throw Seattle off balance. And I think the 49er defense has been good enough in these games to not only keep it close, but just keep it right at that point where all Brock Purdy has to do is make 1 or 2 big throws in this game to win. Kittle being out does hurt, but the kid Jake Tongas has played a lot of tight end for them this year, so it's not like it's a guy who hasn't played a lot of snaps. This is somebody who's already gotten a lot of reps with the ones. I think the 49ers get the upset, man. I think they go in there and they knock them off.
I think my bad, I'm gonna try and cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But I think the absence of Kittle is gonna kind of be similar to the absence of Kraft in Green Bay. Because I think that took away a completely different aspects of their offense that made them stand out. And Kittle's even more complete player than Kraft. He gives you the same thing in the passing game, but he's also a sixth offensive lineman out there. It's the best blocking tight end in football. And what he brings emotionally to that team too, I just think they're going to miss. I think they're really going to miss that. So I just think Seattle, this is their time right here. And also when none of us has mentioned, I think the player that's going to make the biggest difference in this game is Jackson Smith and Jigba, like he's done all season. This is a receiver that's in the MVP conversation, and I think with this moment and what's on the line, I think we need to pay a lot of attention to him and what he can bring to that Seattle offense and making a difference in a win or a loss.
I mean, I think he's going to have to play big. I think Sam Darnold's going to have to make some big throws in this game to win, because the 49ers, to me, it just has the feel of like the perfect underdog that goes in and knocks off a favorite. This is your third time seeing Seattle, so there won't be any intimidation factor, right? They play in Seattle every year, so they won't be fazed by the noise there. Something tells me Kyle Shanahan has a few tricks up his sleeve just for this game. So watch out for the trick plays. It may even be from special teams. It might be a fake punt. It might be a fake field goal. He's gonna draw something up to try to just get a little bit more offense, because he knows his defense can hang. It's just a matter of, can they get to 13 points? Can they get to 16 points? Because that might be what it takes to win this game. Well, I'm gonna let you go first. We go on first game of the weekend. Bills at Denver. Denver, obviously the number 1 seed. They're favored by 1.5. Buffalo coming off that great win in Jacksonville. Can Josh Allen do it again? And let me set the table for you on this. Last week, Josh Allen played the number 1 rush defense, right? James Cook didn't really go off. This week, they playing the number 2 rush defense. So from one great defense to another great run defense. Will, what do you like?
This is another game. It's two really closely matched teams. But I'm going to go with the home team again. And I'm going with Denver. Denver is another place that's extremely hard to play football games. The altitude that's real. I've been to that stadium before. The altitude is real. And that's another crowd that's very underrated as far as atmosphere. That was one of the craziest atmospheres I've ever been to. I think we spoke about it, like Eric, one of the earliest shows we did. Like, and you can hear it on the broadcast with every incomplete pass. Which I think is one of the dopest things in the NFL. Every incomplete pass, the PA announcer's like, and the pass by whoever the quarterback was, and then the whole crowd chants, complete. It's just pay attention when you watch the game. You'll see it every incomplete pass. But it's a nice atmosphere. The air is so thin. I mean, it's crazy. I'm trying to say something without being plausible. What I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness.
About bringing it in there. I would just say the air's thin. And I think that Denver defense, like I've watched Denver closely, that Denver defense is very opportunistic, and they are physical, and they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So I want to see how Josh Allen's going to be able to, because they can attack from the edges and up the middle. And when you got guys like Patino, and I mean they got a lot in that the secondary is vicious. They have enough guys on defense to nullify what Buffalo likes to do on offense. The question is, can Sean McDermott outcoach Sean Payton? You know what I'm saying? It's the battle of the Seans this weekend. I think it's going to come down to X's and O's. It's going to be a chess match, because you got a dynamic MVP type quarterback in Josh Allen versus a Super Bowl caliber defense and an up and coming quarterback in Bo Nix, who is feisty out there. He like, everybody loves to talk about Jackson Dart and what he's able to do as a rookie and what he brings. Bo Nix can bring you that same kind of energy. It's not as boisterous, but he can bring you that same kind of fire. It's going to be a good football game. Denver's got some pieces. Buffalo's got some pieces. It's going to be a chess match, but I like the home team. I'm going with Denver.
Trip, what you think?
I think the AFC Championship game is going to be New England against the Buffalo Bills. So
Ooh. Keeping it in the division.
Shout out to Gary Blankenship. He said, we'll beat the Bills if Bo doesn't beat Bo. That's my take. Love Bo Nix, but he's inconsistent. I 1,000% agree, and that's the angle I was going to take here. I think that Denver's defense is really, really good. I think Josh Allen has now ascended to the best quarterback in football. So it's the matchup of the best quarterback in football against what I think is one of the top 3 defenses in all of football.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Josh Allen. I think that in this situation, experience is going to play out big time. Will.
Yep.
And like you said, playing in Denver is tough. It's going to be very emotional in there. You're the number 1 seed. You had the bye week last week. You've been waiting to get this game. The crowd is jacked up. I could see Bo Nix taking a quarter or even a quarter and a half to really settle down. He might be too caught up in a moment, whereas Josh Allen, I've been here before. I've done this. I've played big-time road playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing we could say, I know Josh Allen has never been to a Super Bowl. You cannot find a playoff game where Josh Allen did not show up. Even in them losses to Kansas City, he showed up in all them games. So that's the one thing you know for a fact. Josh Allen is going to show up. He's going to play well. Can Bo Nix at least just be consistent? Because if Bo Nix had one of them games where he turned the ball over 2 or 3 times, I don't think they can overcome that.
Yeah. So
and one of the things that worries me, I've been hearing all week, this is the news coming out of Denver. They putting a major emphasis on when we played them last year, they ran the ball down our throat. Pause. They ran the ball. And it seems like they put so much emphasis on wanting to stop the run. I could see some early play action from Josh Allen in this game that might confuse them. I could see them overcommitting, thinking we have to take that run game away because Buffalo was the number 1 rushing team all year. And Josh hits a couple big plays early to settle things down.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a great game. And I think it's a great start to the weekend. I agree with Tripp. I got Buffalo, and as you can tell, I got both number 1 seeds losing on Saturday. I think they both get eliminated on Saturday. Seattle and Denver, I think, lose. Let's go to the last one. Shout out to Gary. He said this is also a revenge game for Denver because last year, wild card game, that's what I'm saying. They've been talking about that. They've been talking about last year when we played them, they ran the ball on us. I could see Denver being a little too jacked up for this game and thinking, we got to take that run game away because that's how they beat us last year. And Josh Allen come out right away. Josh Allen might come out real quick, 6 for 6, 7 for 7, just because you're overcommitting to stop James Cook. So I like Buffalo in this one. Last game of the weekend, Rams at Bears. Both of them had great comeback victories last week. Rams are favored on the road. Tripp, what do you think? Rams are favored by 3.5 in Chicago.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams in this one. I think the Bears run is over with. Now they had they fun. They got they playoff win. They beat up on a division rival, but the buck stops here.
Will?
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams also. I got the Rams winning the Super Bowl this year, so of course I got the Rams winning. I really wanted to see this matchup in the NFC Championship. I thought the Bears could make a run all the way to the NFC Championship, but of course running into my pick for the Super Bowl a week before, it's like Tripp said, it's over now. You know what I mean? Great season. Got a lot to build on, but yeah, I got the Rams.
I agree. We're all in agreement. This is the only game all 3 of us agree on. I got the Rams as well. The Bears, I think, have had a great season. But when you come off that type of emotional victory against a division rival, I think it's really tough to kind of level yourself back and get focused on what's about to happen. You're facing a really explosive offense with the potential MVP candidate. Weather's not going to play a factor. I hear people already trying to, it's going to be cold in Chicago. Matthew Stafford.
Chicago.
But not only that, Matthew Stafford played in that division for 11 years. You think he don't know it's cold in Chicago? Devontae Adams played in Green Bay for 10 years. You think he don't know it's cold in Chicago?
Facts.
Right? This is a team, the Rams are like one of the few West Coast teams that actually built to play in this type of weather because they can run the ball and both their receivers are really, really physical. So I don't think the cold is going to have any impact. On the flip side, if Caleb starts slow like he did last week, I don't think he gets the opportunity to come back against the Rams. I don't think Sean McVay will let it happen. I think they will put their foot on their neck and kill them right then and there. They won't let them hang around.
Yep.
But like I said, I can see the emotional letdown for Chicago. That people in Chicago, they waited so long to get a good team. They finally beat their division rival, and the way they beat them, this has all the makings of the Rams might jump out real quick and be up 13-0 before the end of the first quarter. So
Yeah.
I like we're all like the Rams here. And to Will's point, Rams were my NFC pick. I've said before the playoffs started when Trip and I did this, I said Bills, Rams. I think Trip, you had Patriots, Rams, right? In the Super Bowl?
Yes.
What was your pick before the playoffs started? Oh, you said all LA.
All LA, yeah.
Right. Gary said gonna be cold as game, supposed to be 60 degrees with snow possible from what I read today. Yeah, it's supposed to be cold, but I don't think it's gonna affect the Rams at all. They got a physical running game with Blake Corum and with Kyron Williams. They got those two physical receivers. And remember, last year the Rams played that snow game in Philly that they had the chance to win. So they're a team, because of the way McVay coaches, this is not a finesse West Coast team that needs it to be 60 degrees. They're built for these type of moments. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Gary. I want to put Gary's prediction up for this weekend. He has Texans, Broncos advancing, and Rams and 49ers advancing. So he agrees with us on the Rams 49ers side. He's not agreeing with us on some of the other ones, but it's all good. We're getting ready to wrap up. Shout out to my brothers as always. Guys, make sure you are subscribed to not only the Sanchez Show, but Real Fans, Real Talk. We'll be back on Monday. There was one more comment that came through. Let me see what we got right here. Yeah, Stafford and Gary agrees. Stafford and Adams are built for this. Kyron will play college in Notre Dame, which is cold. Yeah, like I said, these guys, this is nothing new to them. They're fine. Let's go around real quick. Will, give me a final thought.
Final thought, man. A couple things to take note with this coaching carousel that's going on. You know, we came to this offseason with 9 vacancies, which seems very high. The last time we had so many was in 2022. There were 10 vacancies. And something very interesting about those 10 vacancies in 2022, 8 of those coaches that were hired have already been fired.
Wow.
Think about that. So we can sit here and place coaches here and there. Chances are, here in a few years, they're gonna be up out of there. That's a crazy number. 80% of the coaches that were hired in that coaching carousel are now no longer with those teams.
It speaks to a bigger issue with the NFL. A lot of these ownership groups are too impatient. A lot of these ownership groups are putting the wrong people in charge of the front office. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody wants overnight success in the NFL right now, and that's not the way it happens. You know that. Sometimes you need 2 or 3 good drafts before you're good. Yep. Trip, give me a final thought.
You know what? I'm gonna take this time to shout out Audi Crooks because we haven't really been talking too much college basketball. Just checks on, I know we'll get into it more during the tournament, but she out here balling. I've been wanting to show her some love the last couple of weeks, and I just haven't had a chance to get to it. But big shout out to Audi Crooks, man. Keep it up.
That's what's up, man. As always, shout out to all the supporters. We greatly appreciate you guys, man. You rocking with us and being patient. I know we were supposed to record yesterday. We came through tonight. You guys still rock with us. Had the comment section buzzing. Shout out to my brothers. Like I said, as always, another great night, another great show.
Yes, sir.
Behind the scenes, we've already been talking. Trip. I need to create a group chat for the 3 of us because me and Will was talking about a potential meetup at some point during this football off season, so we could try to do a live episode together. So we're gonna try to make that happen for the supporters, man. With that being said, yeah, let's wrap up for the night, man. For my brothers Trip Young and Will Gordon, I am Eric Sanchez. This was the Sanchez Show. We'll see you guys on Monday for Real Fans, Real Talk. In the meantime, enjoy the games this weekend, man. We are out of here.